Hey folks, my name is Tiffany. I work here at the Knifewear warehouse, and today I'm going to talk to you about preventative maintenance on your wooden cutting board. Preventative maintenance on your wooden cutting board is super important, especially when it's brand new, because wood is a natural product and it's going to need a little more maintenance than pretty much anything else that you buy. Wooden cutting boards, you get out of them what you put into them. So let's put some good stuff in. So today we're going to wax this larchwood cutting board. When your board is new, you want to do this full waxing at least once a week, because much like seasoning a cast iron pan, you want to set that seasoning deep inside the grains of the wood. You don't want to oversaturate it, but you do want the seasoning to go deep inside of the cutting board so that it doesn't crack. We carry two wax products. Both are made in Canada. Both are really natural products. Clapham's is a dryer wax for just regular maintenance. If you need something super saturating that's going to go a real long way, then you want to use the coconut board wax. It's made with fractionated coconut oil, and it's just a much moister moist. And I'm really sorry for saying that twice. So with the Clapham's beeswax, which is what I'm going to use today, because this is not a brand new board, it's a pretty old one, and it's seen some things. So I'm going to use a lot of wax. I've got a big glob, and usually what I like to do is I just like to cover the whole top, and then we're going to massage it in. You got to be really careful to make sure it goes into all of the grains, so don't miss a spot, and you can tell by the sheen that you haven't. Once the top's done, we're going to take some more. And again, it's going to seem like a ridiculous amount, but you got to get all four sides and just like massage it in until it's like you're going to feel it still on top. You're not going to wipe it off clean with your hands, because that's not the way hands work. And then we're going to flip it over, because let me tell you, it's really important to pay attention to your bottoms. You're going to want to wax all 6 sides, because all 6 sides are made out of wood. And then once that's done, we're going to leave it for about 24 hours. I'm not going to leave it on its face. Whoa, that's slippery. I've done a good job and can barely hold it. On a larchwood board, it has the feet, so I can actually just leave this on its feet overnight. We're good. If your board doesn't have feet, you can stand it up on one of the long sides, and that'll keep it good.
One day later.
Here we are, a full day later. Our board has been sitting overnight, and all I've got here is those fancy napkins on a roll. I got some paper towel, and we're gonna wipe off the excess wax. It's not all gonna come off, which is totally fine, because you don't want it all to come off. These waxes are food safe, so you know, a little bit of residue on top is not gonna be a bad thing for you. So when your board is new, you wanna do this probably once a week. Just again, to really set that seasoning deep inside the grains of the wood. Once that seasoning is set, so probably after the first month, you probably only have to do a full waxing, maybe once every 6 or 8 weeks. I don't really track how often I do it. I just do it when it's starting to look a little drier, the wood grain is becoming a little lighter. You could tell right now that this board is a deep golden, like yellow. And as you build the relationship with your board, like you would with your pan or your carbon steel knife or anything else, you're gonna know when it needs some attention. When your board needs to be washed, there's such a thing as a light wash, a medium wash, and a heavy wash. If I've cut an apple, for example, then all I'm gonna do is wipe the apple juice off the board with a cloth or a paper towel or whatever. If it's left a little bit of a dry spot, then I'll put a little bit of wax in there and rub it off. If I've cut something like an onion that's a little juicier, and even maybe a purple onion has a different color or whatever like that, I'm gonna take a cloth, I'm gonna put a little bit of soap on it, I'm gonna wash that off. I would consider that like a medium wash. If I've cut a chicken breast on the board, then I'm gonna wanna make sure that there's no chicken blood in my larchwood. So I'm gonna take my sponge or tawashi brush or whatever, I'm gonna cover the surface in water, I'm gonna put a little soap on there, I'm gonna scrub it off. If it is something that smells bad, I'm also going to sprinkle the surface of my board with salt, take a half a lemon, and I'm gonna scrub that off, the salt off with the lemon, and that will eliminate any smell that happens to be in the grain of your wood. What you're not ever gonna do to any wooden board, if you love it, if you hate it, I don't care, You're not ever gonna do this because it's a crime against humanity. Boardmanity. You're never gonna soak your board in water. You're never gonna fully saturate it. You're not gonna use a sanitizer or bleach on it. And if it's a larchwood board, you're also not ever gonna use baking soda because it will stain your board. Other common crimes are storing your board kind of vertically over the vent of your dishwasher. That will definitely crack and warp your board. Don't do that. Water and your board are not friends. If your board does not have rubber feet, you're gonna make sure to store it up on its side like this so that it can dry fully and not store water underneath and end up warping towards it. Thanks for watching. You can find all these products in the links below. And if you've got questions, pop them in the comments. Uncle Board wants you.